We're celebrating 100 years on Grand Avenue in Pryor, and we're going to start off with a little bit of a cheers here. So it's been a long road since 1922. I've got Nick Thomas behind the camera here, but I just want to say happy birthday to you, Thomas Liquors. You've come a long way. So please do me the honor, Nick. Happy birthday.
Cheers.
We're on top of the roof here at Thomas Liquors, and we've got 6 new wines. You know, we're going into the fall. Clearly, there's a shift underway right now, and we're kind of half and half. We've got 3 whites and 3 reds, and we have a pretty crazy wine sale going on. So we used to do this wine sale, you know, once a year where we would do 25% off everything, and we're like, let's bring it back. So that's what we're doing right now. If you get 6 bottles of wine during the month of October to celebrate 100 years of Thomas Liquors, you get 25% off everything. So a great example right here, 6 bottles of wine, normally about $215-ish, down to a little over 150 after everything. So yeah, we're getting ready for some fall drinking, some cooler weather. So let's jump into it. We're starting off with Santiago Ruiz. And Santiago Ruiz is a producer, a very, very old producer, you know, kind of right along the you know, Spanish-Portuguese border. And they make a wine that is not 100% Albarino. And Albarino is the main grape variety in this area. It's what everybody kind of writes home about, but in a lot of ways, you know, just across the border in Portugal, they have different grape varieties. Different parts of Galicia, they have different grape varieties. And we don't really see them blended together, which I guess I don't know why, because these guys do it, and it's pretty impressive, you know. So kind of a new producer to us. We've really only been working with the wine, you know, for a few weeks now, but a great kind of old producer of kind of crisp, refreshing, but good texture, you know, Albarino-based wine from Rias Baixas. So moving on, we're going to look at La Battistella. La Battistella is a producer, you know, coming, you know, all the way from Verona, and this is a Soave Classico. You know, a lot of us know Soave. A lot of us know kind of Verona, but I feel like we don't have the opportunity to feature them all that much. We tasted this wine, and it's kind of bigger brother. We carry the reserve level, you know, single vineyard wine from this producer, and the wines are awesome. You know, it's a relatively new producer in terms of when they started off. I think they're at, let's see here, I think they started in 2002. They have 9 hectares of vine, not a whole lot, about 20 acres. It's 100% Garganega, and the way that the wine comes across in the glass is that it's medium bodied. You know, it's not a total lightweight. You know, it's not like a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc where it's bright and racy, and it's not like a California Chardonnay where it's heavier and richer. It kind of lives somewhere in the middle. You know, it's completely unoaked, but it spends a fair amount of time on its lees, and that really contributes to the textural component, the spice that you smell in the nose. But just a really, really lovely bottle of wine from the Veneto. The next wine is kind of a favorite of ours, and we're featuring Ridge again. And this is just kind of a rarity from Ridge, the Grenache Blanc. And, you know, I was just talking to our buddy Tom Lloyd, who sells us, you know, Ridge wines. And, you know, this is maybe the 3rd vintage that's come into the state of Minnesota. And they get about 10 cases or so. And when we tasted it right away, we're like, holy cow, it's not exactly like, you know, Grenache Blanc that you're seeing from the Southern Rhone. It has a nice little California dollop of fruit to it. So being the 3rd white in this progression, it definitely picks up more weight and spice. It's got a little bit of that Paso kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of expression. It's just kind of a little bit bigger and bolder, which is kind of cool. There's 6% Roussanne and a little bit of Picpoul in there to kind of round things out, because Ridge can't just make a varietal wine. Every time they make a wine, there's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, which I actually really think is kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of what I was just talking about with the, you know, with the Albarino blend. It just makes a more complex wine. So I'm gonna hold on to my glass of wine. It's so windy up here; it's about to blow over. moving into the reds, we are looking at, the Gardener. And so the Gardener is a bit of a side project that we see from our friends at Horse and Plow. And Horse and Plow is a husband-wife team. And the wife in the team, Suzanne, she kind of gets, I think, little drops of fruit here and there from these pretty high-quality vineyards. Like this is, coming from Western Anderson Valley, from the Clos, I think it's called the Clos Ridge Vineyard. And I know Jason Drew pulls Pinot Noir off that vineyard, and it just seems like a really great little spot for for Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. And so the reason that we kind of fell in love with this particular Pinot Noir, since we taste a lot of them, was just kind of the clarity and the focus of fruit, and also just the depth. There's something to be said about the really kind of generous style of California Pinot Noir, especially as the temps kind of dip down. It really kind of is glass full, and that's really kind of nice, I certainly love the more kind of tense and kind of fragrant styles of Pinot Noir that you're going to find in more continental climates, European Pinots. But I really love the touch that this woman did with her Pinot from Anderson Valley, which, truth be told, that's one of the coolest appellations anywhere in California for Pinot Noir. So, really nice Pinot. Moving on to another female winemaker, we are looking at Giulia Negri. And Giulia Negri is one of Kermit Lynch's newest producers in the Langhe. She is a very young winemaker. She started her family's estate, I think, when she was 24. And to be 24 years old and to take over a Barolo estate is pretty ambitious. It's pretty daunting, I think, for a lot of, just kind of in my head, that just seemed kind of wild. But she has, kind of from the roof of Barolo, some of the highest vineyards anywhere in Barolo belong to her family. And, almost exclusive, I think it's exclusively in La Mora. La Mora, tends to be this very pretty, kind of more lighter style of Nebbiolo. The soils are a little bit lighter there. They're not quite as firm and tanning and crazy as the Nebbiolo that you're going to see in Serralunga and in Monforte. The stuff that you see in La Mora is just really, really pretty on the nose. Just really, really lovely Nebbiolo. So this spends about stainless steel fermentation, and then it splits its time between stainless steel and then 500 liter larger barrels. I was reading a little bit on Kermit Lynch's website about some of the quick changes that she made right away, and it made a lot of sense, for La Mora, is getting rid of a lot of the barriques, kind of the small barrels that just really kind of oak up a wine really quick and strip a lot of its really kind of fine, pretty flavors out of it. So she kind of got rid of that right away, and kind of just is in the habit of preserving just that really, really lovely red fruit that you're going to see. Very fine kind of red wine. Really lovely. So we're finishing up with a Côte de Rhône, and we got a lot of Côte de Rhônes in the shop, and there are some that really kind of rise above the others. And Frank Balthazar is new to the state. It's not new to me. I'm a wine buyer at a retail shop, but I have bought this wine several times from retailers in New York. That's how much I've liked this little Côte de Rhône, because I'll just back up a little bit. Frank Balthazar is a producer in Cornas, and I think he farms 3 hectares of vines in Cornas. Some of those vines are some of the oldest and most famous vines anywhere in the Rhone. They used to belong to Noël Verset, one of the great farmers in Cornas. So he has amazing Syrah at his disposal. As he wants to expand his production, because you can't really do that very easily in a village like Cornas, it's so small, that appellation. He went a little bit further south and found really, really lovely organically farmed vines, Grenache and Syrah, that he is bottling up here. So very minimal intervention, all wild yeast, no filtration, very, very little SO2. The wine has kind of this nose of the Northern Rhone because of the Syrah. It's about half and half, Syrah Grenache. And it also has just kind of a little bit more generous fruit, because the Grenache really kind of fills things out. So it's really a lovely kind of synthesis. Whenever we see those Northern Rhone winemakers come make Côte de Rhônes, we featured a few of them in this series. Like, they're really, really lovely. So that's Frank Balthazar, pretty awesome winemaker. That's our Cellar series, for October. I'm always excited about how these come together, but I'm really, really excited about how this one came together. So, and I'm excited for you to come pick it up, hopefully sometime this weekend. It's $150, a little over 150, and it's available starting tomorrow. Happy birthday, TL. I love you.